Hello, everyone. This is Karen Glasser, and welcome to this episode of Connecting with Nancy and Karen. I'm here with my cohort and co-host, Nancy Ferrari. Good morning, Nancy. How are you today?
Good morning, Karen. I'm doing wonderful. Hard to believe a whole month has gone by since we started our monthly hangout.
I know. I don't know where the time is going, and in that month's time, I know what's happened in my life. My son got engaged.
Congratulations.
That's very exciting. So,
Yes.
And it's another month. That's all I can say. And it's another month. So let's introduce our guest that we have on today. We have Rick Tompkins, who is returning from last month. He had so much fun last time that he's back. So hello, Rick. How are you this morning?
Hi, Karen. I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're really glad you're here. And Nancy, do you want to introduce our other guest that we have on today?
Yes, Amber Boswell is a woman who we've been following each other. I have a book that she's got this great chapter in, and I've had it for a couple years now since it was out. And that's the beauty of social media. And whenever Amber posts something, now that we've got Periscope going, we're definitely in the groove of getting to know each other spontaneously as we do. So welcome, Amber. I'm so glad that you joined us.
Thank you so much for having me. Really happy to be here.
Yes, and I want to share that Amber is a very busy woman, not only in her business, but her family. She's got 4 children, right? And the youngest is 4.5 months.
Yes, and a 2.5-year-old who my teens are trying to keep locked in the room so we can do this. So,
Okay, that's hysterical. That's
Well, if they butt through, that's okay.
So Amber, before we actually start this whole thing, I'm noticing on your lower third it says ED.
Right.
So I am going to, because we're taped and we're live, and we want to make sure that you get as much visibility. I'm going to ask you to go back in the way we just set that up.
Okay.
Turn it off, and then add, in that second thing, the rest of whatever it was that you were going to spell down there. You can't spell it without turning it on and off. So in the meantime, today's topic, Nancy, is what makes you uniquely you, what sets you apart. So, and we've got Dawn back. All righty, Dawn. Hello, and we've got Dawn Masler here as well. And welcome back to the show. We're happy that you were able to join us. So let's just start. Nancy, do you want to start this off and talk a little bit about, if somebody were to ask you the question, what makes you uniquely you and what sets you apart, what would be the first thing that comes to mind?
Well, what comes to mind is that there is no one else like me. That owning that, and this is being in business, and I believe we're all entrepreneurs here, whether you are or not, even if you're just in life, the ability for so many of us to look at others and say, wow, I want to be her. I want to do what she's doing. It's okay to do what she's doing, or just following them, but don't lose that sense of self. And so for me, that's what makes me unique, in that through our association in connection, Karen, that I've stepped into being more visible, being more me in the public eye, and maintaining my integrity. And I know there's a lot of people within their integrity, but values is what makes you unique.
Right.
And being true to your values.
Right. I totally agree. I'm going to ask both Amber and Dawn to unmute themselves. So if they hover their mouse right on their little face down there in the window, there's a little arrow, and it will say that you're both muted. You want to make sure you unmute yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And same thing for Dawn. Alrighty. So Rick, what makes you uniquely you? First of all, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do in your line of work. And I know you have an anniversary today, which is kind of cool. And tell us what makes you uniquely you.
Okay. Well, let's see. Today is my AT&T anniversary. I would say that's my day job, but I work at night, so that's my night job. So I've been with AT&T 35 years as of today.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Seems like only 34 and a half years ago.
So what makes you you? What makes you you?
I think it's we all bring different passions to the world. Everybody has different things that they're passionate about. I think that's what makes people unique. I mean, there's so many things. I mean, there's the visible things, the hair color or lack of hair color. But no, I think it's what we're passionate about. It's the things that make us excited, that make us uniquely us.
So I'm noticing that you have a 30-day grow your beard thing going on. What's that about?
Yeah, that. Well, I'm gonna change that in a minute. I'm gonna put my blog address up there. But one of the things I blog about is different days to celebrate every day. So today is Play in the Sand Day. So if you got a chance to go to the beach, today's the perfect day for it. And I noticed on August 5th that September 5th is going to be World Beard Day, and I decided, hey, I'm going to grow a beard. So that's my 30-day beard growing challenges. I'm going to see how far this will come along in 30 days.
Okay, well, I'd like to say I'd join you, but not.
We don't want. I don't know why we do anyway.
Not going to happen. So,
Okay.
Amber, I actually muted you just so that the kids' noises weren't coming in. I'm going to have you unmute yourself because we're now going to ask you the same question. What makes you uniquely you? And before you answer that question, why don't you let us know what line of work you're in, and if there's anything going on today, like a 40-year anniversary or a 35-year anniversary, or you're growing a beard. I don't know. Go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us about yourself and what makes you you. It's okay.
Well, okay, I've got a two. Can I just let her come on my lap?
Yeah,
really
bring
quick
her
so
in.
there's
Bring
not
her
the
in.
screaming. Okay. Kaya.
We want. Hey, as you can see, this is live. Hey.
Come here. So this is what I have going on. Okay.
I love
It's okay.
it.
It's my 16-year-old was trying to keep her in the room, so
Oh,
I
that's okay. You know what? We know how that is. It's called the mommy disease. Whenever
Yeah.
you get on doing something.
So this is.
Hi.
It's okay. Look, say hi. Can you say hi?
Hi. Can you wave? Hi. There you go.
It's okay. Mommy's right here. Okay.
So,
So
Amber, what makes you you?
So what makes me is that I am actually raising two generations. I have a almost 16, 13-year-old, 2.5-year-old, and baby, and I'm building an empire in yoga pants, like quite literally from home. So that I can have this chaos and also work from home is pretty unique, I think. On top of that, my whole mission that it's evolving right now is actually to educate and empower women to transform their health and their life. So my primary core of my business is I'm a holistic life coach. I work on balancing the body, mind, and soul, but I focus physiologically on the body, balancing blood sugar and gut health, so you can really be successful in the other aspects of your life. And then, as Nancy mentioned, I'm also an author and am in the process of writing 2 different books. One's a fictional novel, and the other one is actually called The Divinity Diet, and it's about tapping into your own divine design and figuring out what lifestyle works for you, because we are all uniquely designed. There's not a one-size-fits-all in terms of how we take care of ourselves.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So
That's
true.
wonderful. Well,
So very true.
yeah, and I'm sure that our listeners and our viewers are going to want to get to know you a little bit better. And as we tell everyone, we will be giving your links, your websites, wherever people can actually get to know you a little better. We have Dawn Masler here today, and Dawn, thank you for being able to come back and join us here. Right now, we're talking about what makes all of us uniquely us. And so, Dawn, it's your turn. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what line of work you're in and what makes you you?
Okay. One of the reasons I had to drop back out is that I'm a biology professor, and I'm still a biology professor, and I'm actually working today. I do like virtual tutoring, so that's why I had to pop out for a little bit. So if a student shows up, I got to pop out. But in addition to that, I research the science of love, and I've researched it for the last 4 years. I have a book. Fortunately, I have a book deal on the table right now, and my agent's negotiating that, and we'll see what happens with that in the next, probably by the end of this week. And I speak and I talk about the science of love, and there's actually phases of love, and the most people don't really think love is one thing, but it actually evolves over time and it changes. So it's the neuroscience of like what's happening in your brain and the different chemicals that the different neurotransmitters that pop in and out or that are active at the moment.
That's fascinating.
I have a TEDx talk that's coming up in February, which is, of course, Love Month. So I'll be talking about how your brain falls in love. Or actually, before that. So it's different for men and women. So there's a point there where you actually fall in love, and I call that temporary insanity.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Oh my goodness.
Because it actually is. It's neurological insanity. For about 2 years, your parts of your brains, important parts of your brain, such as the part that judges in the alarm system, the amygdala, the one that sounds the alarm, actually deactivate. They shut down. That's why the person that you're with is so wonderful and they can't do any wrong.
Oh my gosh. That explains so many things.
Fascinating.
So many things. So you know what? I'll answer the question quickly, and then I have a question I'd like to ask the whole group. I think what probably makes me uniquely me is the fact that my right brain and my left brain seem to be pretty well balanced. I used to think that I was more left brain, more on the creative side, because I'm a singer and that's what I wanted to do. But my right brain, or maybe it's the other way around. The right brain?
The right brain is your creative side.
Oh, so the right
brain is your
and the left side,
analytical side.
Exactly. And what I have found is as I have gotten older, and God knows I've gotten older, I really embrace my other side, my left, I guess the left side of my brain, in terms of I'm always saying I'm a geek, I'm all about the technology, I'm all about the minutia, about the structure, about all of that. And in many respects, that floats my boat even more than the creative side, which I find so fascinating because it's something that I did for most of my adult life, and now to find myself on the other side. The question that I have for everyone is because it is what makes you uniquely you and what sets you apart, how difficult is it in a sea of lots and lots of people that say and actually do what we say we do? How hard is it to set yourself apart in that sea? Rick, how hard is it to set yourself apart? Because I know you're also very involved in send-out cards and follow-up relationship marketing and that kind of thing, and there are a lot of people that are in that. How do you set yourself apart?
You know, that's a good question, and I'm still working on that. And it's kind of interesting is that yesterday I had 2 coffee meetings, and they were both with Legal Shield people. So I think I was kind of thinking about it then is, you know, really need to find your market. I mean, so one guy was like me. He was older and at about retirement age, and the other person was young. So they've got different people that they can market to and be comfortable with, I think. And I think that's what you have to do is you have to find your tribe, like they say nowadays. You need to find the people that, you know, are willing to follow you and to join you, and I'm still working on that. So
would you say, and so Rick, would you say because, as you just said, you're of a certain age or something, I think you said it sort of like that, maybe not, you actually said it differently, but because you're of a certain age, do you feel because that is the age that you are, does that make you uniquely qualified to talk to individuals that are of the same age as you and younger? You said you had one of the older and the younger. Does that set you in a position to be able to, you know, target an audience that's like you?
I think in some ways, yeah. I mean, I think it depends on who you're comfortable with. So, you know, somebody my age may be more comfortable with younger people and vice versa, but I think it's who you're comfortable with and who's comfortable with you.
Okay, fair enough.
So I think you don't want to force yourself into a demographic that just doesn't really work.
Right.
So, you know, I probably wouldn't market to stay-at-home moms as much as maybe you would, but I would probably market more to people who are retiring and maybe looking for a backup income source.
Got it.
Yeah.
Amber, I mean, you've got the full range over there. You got a lot of kids. What do you think? How do you set yourself apart in your line of work? How do you set yourself apart? Is it because you have so many kids and you know how to talk to people that are in different demographics, or what sets you apart? Why is somebody going to come to you versus somebody else in your line of work?
Well, okay, so you brought up an interesting point about the product. So I have a product line. It's a body balance system. But I never, and it's a network marketing company, so it's direct sales. I love the system. But I never lead with that, ever. I always say I'm a holistic life coach because I'm selling the products, but what you get is me. So I'm the brand, that's the products. And so I feel that I'm relatable just because of the life that I've lived. So, you know, I've been on both sides of the tracks. I do have children that are different ages. I've been wildly successful. I've been homeless. So I have this wide range of experience that I think allows me to relate to people. And I also use attraction marketing. So I'm not ever going out there and pushing anything on anybody. I'm saying, this is me, this is what I have, and I allow people to come forward, and that seems to work for me.
Mm-hmm. What I love about you is what you just said, is that you show up for others exactly as you are. And that's what I have found with relationships. That's how I feel we're very similar that way. Connecting with someone to connect with them with the intention of getting to know them, and then you never know where it's going to lead. This morning was a perfect example. You know, we've never met. Dawn, Amber, I've just gotten to know you. We're getting to know each other, and that's where the rapport happens. And same with Rick, you know, with the sundial cards as well in your business. Absolutely. But also within your, you know, job with AT&T, you probably have some great relationships that you've formed over the years.
Yeah, true.
Absolutely, yeah. Dawn, what about you? I mean, first of all, I think what sets you apart is I don't think I've ever met a biologist before. So that probably right there sets you apart, I'm guessing, but maybe not. I mean, maybe there are a lot of biologists out there.
Well, there are a lot of biologists out there, but not a lot of biologists that deal with love, that actually work like a love coach too. So, and I've been in the love coaching position for a number of years, but I do have one thing. He mentioned that your niche is important, and that is extremely important, is figuring out where your niche is at, and that your niche is going to be what sets you apart, but also your demographics. I got a great example. Let me show you an example.
Well, I love your dragonfly back there, and your vision board. I'm looking behind you.
Oh, I wrote a book. My stuff back there.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That was my trip to Africa. That's all my little tchotchkes from Africa.
Very cool.
I wrote a book several years ago, and I sold the rights to a publisher. And this is what they published. Do you see it? And it's like a young girl with a pink shirt, and if you open it up, it has little hearts and bubble gum kind of thingies in it. Little hearts and stuff on here. Well, they started marketing it towards a younger demographic. The problem is this type of book really works for a woman who's had experience with relationships and had issues. So it's like later on they come back and they say, you know, I'm tired of having my heart broken. I'm ready to do some work and change. It's not for this girl. So the book didn't really do that well. Because if you're this girl and you pick it up off the shelf, it's not going to be the book for you. So understanding your market and your demographics and who your target market really is important. And that's just an example that I thought of when I think it's John was talking.
Yeah, when Rick was saying that, absolutely.
Rick, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Nancy, I know that the field that you're in, we know other people that are in pieces of the field that you're in, you know, Akashic readings and astrology and all the different things that happen. Oh, and she just lost her thing. So, you know, you're in a field that there are a lot of people that say they do what you do. So how are you setting yourself apart? I already know the answer to that, but I want you to share. How are you setting yourself apart from the mass of humanity out there that say, oh, I do that too?
Well, yes. You said the word properly, akashic. People don't really know what that is, but in essence, it's the ability for me to go to work with clients at their soul level, and it's a very sacred and intimate process. And how I stand out is that we all have different levels of intuitiveness. I'm very laser focused in with my client. I'm actually using my hands because I take my ego completely aside. It is I'm not channeling, I'm not a medium, but it's all about you and not me. I am kind of like what I'm doing right now. It's just I'm broadcasting messages that I'm receiving either visually, or I can pull up energy, because that's what we all are, is energy. And so tapping into their energy field, but also the ability to pinpoint maybe okay, if we're going to talk about love, why am I attracting the wrong man all the time? It always seems like well, there's a reason for it. And we come into this world with a soul, and we have these soul contracts, and it gets to the point where, okay, I'm done with this. Why is this happening? And I can honestly say, I mean, you can't deny your soul. The soul is the book of truth and love, bottom line. So whatever comes up, and it could be something that's buried so deep within you that you may not even realize why you are on this cycle. And once we pinpoint that, sometimes it's giving yourself permission. Sometimes we feel like Marianne Williamson talks a lot about this, that we have these invisible shackles, that we don't feel that we're deserving of love or worthy of love. Something that may have happened in early childhood, or a child on a playground told you a long time ago. And so those come up, and then all of a sudden you've got that freedom to really be who you are always meant to be. So where that sets me apart is that ability to go deep within, but also take it off to the side. Okay, this is what's coming up. What are we going to do about it now?
Right.
It's what you do with that knowledge, because it's all about them, not me.
I think it's fascinating. I think, Nancy, you should have a conversation with Dawn, because you've got the science of love and the soul of love, and there might be some really interesting intersections there that might actually set the two of you apart by combining those two different things. I'm always fascinated when this question comes up, what sets people apart? The fact that you are all on with us today is setting you apart. You took a step that a lot of business owners will not take. They will not put themselves in a place where they have visibility, other than going to a network, almost by accident, right? If they go to a networking group, somebody meets them, or you meet somebody on social media, but you don't take the next step. So first thing, I want to applaud you for just all of you for setting yourself apart just by being on a show like this, because we're creating a digital asset. And that's in alignment with what sets me apart, because I love doing digital assets, and I love showing people how to create that visibility in a field that is just breaking open right now. I mean, this is, when I say right now, I don't mean like today. I mean, it's been going on for several years, but a lot of people are finally understanding it's here to stay. I'm a first adopter. That sets me apart. I was already into it. So first I want to applaud you all for being on, because you're doing something that sets you apart right now. So I don't know if you knew that coming in here, but that definitely is setting you apart right now by creating these assets. Nancy, wouldn't you agree with that?
Absolutely. When I met Karen, we have an anniversary with you. I was on your show, The Passion Point, and I had never been on I'd Skyped before, but never been on a Google Hangout, and it was foreign because I'm looking at myself. Right now, I'm looking at all of you, not myself. So now, what does that tell me? I'm more comfortable in my skin. And as Karen said so well, because I was being a little critical as women can be, and if my hair's out of place a little bit, oh well, this is how I show up in the world. If we were at a live event, this is how I would look. So it's taking that step into being seen, and it takes courage. And for those who are watching, we encourage you to do the same. There's so many platforms, and that's why I think, Amber, I was sharing with the group before that I kind of really got to know you even better through Periscope. And some people like it, some people love it, some people don't, whatever. But it's a way. It's that, the science of love from yourself, that you're willing to step out and just share from the heart. Because you're very spontaneous, Amber, when you do that.
I have to
trust me, in groups, as a mom too, I'm a mom of 3 here, you just, you don't even give it a second thought. But there's little things there that people will step into fear. Oh, what if I say the wrong thing? Let's just think about the GOP debate last week. There were a lot of wrong things said, I'm not going to go right or wrong with that. That was just rather things that make you want to go, But, but just be in your courage. And the root word for courage is cœur in French. I don't know if I pronounced it right, but that's the heart.
It's the heart.
That you're coming from the heart.
Oh, I didn't know that. You know what? I never made the correlation between courage and the word core, which is the heart. Absolutely. Yeah. So let me ask you. Okay, so Amber, you're on Periscope. Dawn, are you doing anything in live streaming, any kind of video right now to set yourself one step, ahead of the pack?
I do a weekly video series called Love School. It's on YouTube.
Love School. Okay, so guys, when we get off, I'm going to be grabbing links from everyone because I want our viewers to be able to go and follow you. We'll be putting it in the run sheets directly below once we go and publish this. So you do a weekly show. Now, do you do it like via a Hangout or via Skype, or how do you do that?
It's YouTube.
But you're streaming through YouTube?
It's not live streaming. It's
you record a video?
An edited clip. So I add things to it, like the name, and especially if I'm talking about science, I'll put the word, the neurotransmitter up and stuff. So I have to do a little editing, so it's not live.
Awesome, but again, that's setting you apart from I would assume most biologists that are focusing on love. I think that sets you apart right there. But you're doing video. Congratulations on that, Rick. I know that you're a blogger.
Yes.
So you are online, and when did you start doing your blogging?
Probably just about a year ago.
Oh, about the time that I think you did a guest post on Spark It Network. That's really cool.
About the same time, yeah.
About the same time.
Anniversaries.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you are setting yourself apart by doing, and I think you do it daily. Do you do it daily?
I try to, yeah. I miss days here and there, but I just started doing Periscopes. I've done 3 or 4 of them.
So,
yeah. And this week,
Rick, you're setting yourself apart by doing that.
Right.
Thank you. And this week I'm going to change the format of my blog. So Friday is going to be kind of a wrap-up for the week, and I'm going to do a Periscope, kind of a live wrap-up of what I've had in my blog and what's coming up in the next week.
Awesome.
That's a great idea.
I mean, it is. It's awesome. I do a weekly Periscope. Nancy's doing a Periscope, a weekly. We've got video going on. I mean, you guys are already, I already applauded you for coming into the show, but you were already doing it. Didn't need this is not a surprise then that you stepped into this, because you're already doing video, you're already online, you're already doing blogging, you're Periscoping. I applaud you because most individuals out there are scared. They're scared to step into their own power, to step into their own greatness, and I do applaud you. Nancy, any last minute thoughts that you want to share with our viewers, and then we'll let everybody else do a last thought, and then we'll say goodbye.
Well, once again, I want to thank everyone for joining us, and and there again, stepping into your visibility. That this is a way for, and you all know because you're doing it. Blogging, that was something I just wanted to touch base on. I was in resistance to doing, even though I love to write. And why was it? Well, now that I'm with Spark It Network, and not only co-hosting our Connecting People Changing Lives, but doing my own show, now it's a natural fit. There's that momentum going. So it's just, start to examine, what am I resisting and why? And then the definition of who you are starts to really anchor in. And Amber and I are touching base on branding. Then it starts to get pretty clear. And so it's been an absolute pleasure hearing about all that all of you do. And you are an example for others who are watching and said, you know what? I'm going to try this. I can do this. And there's so many forums that they can do. So anyway, yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Amber, do you have any last thoughts that you'd like to share with our audience?
Well, number one, this is my first ever Google Hangout, so I want to say thank you. It's been quite an experience. It's been really cool, number one. Number two, to add to the conversation on Periscope, if you're not on Periscope, I think everybody should be on there, even if you're just a spectator, because the things that you learn are amazing. Now, if you're an entrepreneur and you're talking about visibility, and I'm having some light bulbs go off, you guys, just so you know, because I haven't necessarily defined my niche, like Dawn said earlier. I think I need to get kind of more clear and more laser focused. But what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing is that you're right. People are scared. They're in fear, and they need that empowerment. They need to have that extra support. And maybe that plays into what I'll be doing. And then the last thing is, I heard something great on Periscope the other day, and it was that we are entering into a connection economy. So this is no longer an industrial economy or whatever else. It's all about connection, collaboration, and community. And that's what these platforms allow us to do. And so if you are in business, you're any sort of entrepreneur, I just encourage everyone to leverage the platforms available to you to grow your business.
Absolutely. In fact, I think the expression is connectivity is the new currency in this age. Connectivity is the new currency in this age. Dawn, any last thoughts you'd like to share?
Well, I've heard about Periscope, but I haven't done it yet. And this is also my first time on Google Hangout, so I'm learning a lot more.
Love it.
I'm adding to my repertoire of social media ability. So thank you very much. I appreciate you having this to kind of help me up. And as soon as I get off, I'm going to look up Periscope and see how exactly I'm going to do this.
Absolutely. And Rick, any last thoughts before we say goodbye?
Really, I just want to thank you and Nancy and the guests for just sharing what you shared. I've learned a lot today.
Awesome. We know that you have a choice as to where to spend your time. To our viewers, we want to thank you for spending time with us today. We are greatly appreciative. Every month on the second Tuesday of the month at 9 a.m., we do this call, Connecting with Nancy and Karen. And if you'd like to be a guest, just be on the lookout for the event that will actually be shared the week before, and you too can be on here and create visibility for yourself. All you have to do is RSVP, and we will invite you in, and you will create a digital asset. So, as always, we remind you that every Thursday morning at 9:30 in the morning, is it 9:30 in the morning? No, it's 9 a.m. in the morning. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, 9 a.m. Pacific time on Thursday mornings, right here in the same place that you're watching the show right now. We have Connecting People, Changing Lives with Nancy Ferrari and myself, Karen Glasser. So, as always, have a great day, everyone, and we will see you next time on Connecting with Karen and Nancy. Bye-bye, everyone.